as it relates to April being Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The Salt Lake City Police Department's Central Patrol Division is implementing a new effort to conduct outreach with our business community as it relates to sexual assault. Today's speakers will include Commander Bill Manzanares with the Salt Lake City Police Department's Central Patrol Division, as well as Detective Marie Stewart. We also have our Director of Victim Services, Wendy Isom, and Gary Scheller, who is the Associate Director of the Rape Recovery Center. I'll now turn over the time to Commander Bill Manzanares. Afterwards, we will take questions.
Thank you, Director Weisberg. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about some of the community-oriented policing that we've been doing, specifically in the Central Patrol Division. Community-oriented policing is not new to Salt Lake City Police Department. It's something that we've done for a long time. We did kind of push community-oriented policing a little bit more in Central Patrol since the first of the year, and we've done a vast variety of projects since the first of the year, approximately a little over 25 projects since January 1 that our patrol officers have done, and they varied from foot patrols on Main Street, visiting the business owners and the patrons there, to visiting the elementary schools and playing with the kids and handing out stickers, to visiting parks. We served in the food pantry and handed out food. It's been a really big success for our patrol officers to get out and serve. A big part of policing is service, and it's a big part of what we do. Our officers are very busy in the downtown area. Last week alone, we handled just under 800 calls for service in the downtown area. So, our officers are busy, but it's important for us for them to carve out time to do projects like the one that we're going to announce today, to build relationships of trust, and to do projects that help the community, help build those relationships. Not only is this good and important for the community, but it is a good thing for our officers. A lot of what we do can be seen as negative. If you think about the things that our patrol officers are asked to do, whether it's responding to a domestic violence where we have to arrest somebody, or if they're responding to an accident like we did yesterday where unfortunately somebody died, and then our officers have to go and make notifications to that family to tell them that, hey, your loved one's not coming home tonight. So a lot of the things that we do can be perceived as negative, and these community-oriented policing projects give our officers a way to interact with the public in a very positive light, and it's good for the citizens of Salt Lake City, but it's also really good for our officers. I wanted to turn the time over to Detective Stewart, who's going to give you a little bit of info about this project that we're doing. Detective Stewart is a great asset to our department. She's been with us for multiple years. She is, as her title says, she is the liaison detective for the Central Patrol Division, and I'll turn it over to her. Detective Stewart.
Thank you everyone for being here. I'm Detective Marie Stewart. I work for the Central Patrol Division. I'm the Community Liaison for Districts 3 and 4. And part of my job is gathering statistics and looking at problems in a bigger light rather than just your call with patrol. So a couple of months ago, we were looking at statistics for sexual assault, and while we don't have a high number of sexual assaults in Salt Lake City, it was only about 3 in a month. Not even one sexual assault is okay. So bringing down that number is our goal. And part of this collaboration that we recognize with the media and the general public, our businesses, our restaurants, bars, clubs, everyone has a responsibility for the safety of those that come to Salt Lake City. And the message we want to send is that we are committed to helping you have a safe and fun evening in our city. It takes all of us, so I genuinely appreciate you being here. If there's one thing that I could stress when you're going out and you're interacting in the public, is to listen to your intuition. We actually train this in the police academy. Your intuition is that little spidey sense on the back of your neck. It's that feeling, that gut feeling. Listen to it because you're right. You're usually right. When you feel like something's wrong, too often we justify it away because we don't want to be rude. It's so many different reasons, but when you listen to that gut feeling, you're going to keep yourself safe. So here at Central Patrol, we have a large number of bars and nightclubs, and working with our bars and nightclubs, which everyone that we've talked to has been so cooperative. We want to also empower the general public, the people that come to Salt Lake City. And maybe it's not you that's feeling uncomfortable, but you notice someone around you that looks like they might be in a situation that they can't get out of. We want to empower you also to step in, and if it's discreet, that's great. Listen to yourself and help out. The last thing you want to have happen in the aftermath of disaster are those thoughts of, I should have done this, I should have done that, I saw that, but you didn't do anything. So be the person that steps up and does something. There's something called the bystander effect, where people will generally do what everyone else around them does, even though they know something's wrong. Everyone sees the same problem, but instead of stepping up and acting, they do what the crowd is doing. So be the one that steps up and does something, because people will follow, people will step in and help. So come to Salt Lake City and know that our bars, restaurants, the police department, we're all here to help you and have a safe time. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning or afternoon. My name is Wendy Isom. I'm the Director of Victim Services for Salt Lake PD. And as someone who's dedicated 25 years of my career to fighting the evil of sexual assault, I'm so thankful for partners who will join us in prevention work. Ideally, primary prevention is we get a community where we no longer have sexual assault. And while we're working towards that goal, then we have secondary and tertiary prevention, and that is things like bystanders who can intervene. So we do challenge our community, our partners, people who visit our city, people who live in our city, to say something when they see something that just doesn't look right. It can be as simple as offering just a direct question to someone. Are you okay? Would you like me to stay with you? Is there somewhere I can help you get? It can be things like creating a distraction. If you see someone who is harassing someone or sexually assaulting someone, jump in and take action. Call police, offer to take that person to a different safe location where they can choose if they would like to. And even just something as simple as like, I see you, I'm worried about you, may I help you? Those kind of small, kind gestures can actually prevent quite a bit of violence and sexual assault in our community. Unfortunately, after sexual assault occurs, a lot of people don't quite know what to say or do. So there are lots of victim-centered or trauma-informed models out there that help us as a community to know how to support someone. We at Salt Lake PD, we are privileged to have very highly trained victim advocates and very specialized detectives that work with sexual assault survivors every day. But we can share that knowledge with anyone. So if you know someone who has been sexually assaulted and you don't know what to say, and you don't know what choices to give them, you can contact our hotline, and Gary will speak in a moment on behalf of Rape Recovery, theirs as well. And we can help give secondary victims, friends, family, loved ones, roommates, neighbors, the words to help support someone after a sexual assault. We at Salt Lake PD do commit to uphold victims' rights. We hold those very, very high, especially on sexual assault cases. So we do commit that if a survivor chooses to report to our agency, they will be treated with fairness, dignity, respect, protection, privacy, and other rights that are afforded, especially the ones spelled out only for sexual assault victims. However, we do know that not everyone wants to file a sexual assault report. So we have offered other opportunities. We have an anonymous online reporting system where a survivor can choose to share as little or as much information as they would like to. It does not instigate a police investigation, but it is still a safe place where someone can test the waters to see what would happen if I said out loud what happened to me. And from that, we often do build trust and have survivors then come forward to report. But we can provide the full complement of victim services without a police report. A survivor is never under any obligation to give us anything. We have the obligation to help support them through the experience for days, weeks, years, whatever time frame they would like that. So we just wanted to reaffirm our commitment to help our community and the survivors that are in our community to know that we are here, and we promise that kind, victim-centered, trauma-informed response for whatever they might need of us. Our 24-hour hotline is one that survivors can call, friends can call, family members, and that number is 801-580-7969. People can call from a blocked phone number. They can be anonymous. They can use an alias or just choose to remain confidential while having that communication. Thank you guys for coming out.
Hi, I'm Kerry Shelder, Associate Director of the Rape Recovery Center. Rape Recovery Center has been around for a little over 50 years here in Salt Lake. It was actually one of the first 3 rape recovery centers in the country to open. I just first want to comment that prevention is possible when it comes to rape and sexual assault. And I think Wendy touched on that a little bit. Whether it's primary prevention, working with younger adults and students to bring them to a point where committing such an act just doesn't register, that they have a respect of other people's bodies and boundaries and they just don't go there, or if it's the more secondary prevention where we engage with our community partners, the bystander intervention pieces that have been mentioned, or whether it's just teaching communities and getting communities to take on the stance and the position that this kind of behavior just simply isn't acceptable. It does work, it does exist, and one of the key elements of the Rape Recovery Center program is the prevention and education piece. Then unfortunately, we do have a high need for responding to survivors of rape and sexual assault. The Rape Recovery Center is a private, nonprofit entity. We use a mixture of private donations and funding. We use some state funding and some federal funding to run the operation. Those services run anywhere from meeting with the survivor at the hospital where they're going to have a forensic exam and evidence collected, helping them through that process, and with advocacy services after that process, and clinical services as well with the Rape Recovery Center. You can set yourself an appointment by going to our website at raperecoverycenter.org, and those services are all completely 100% confidential. And you can go in there and select an appointment time with the victim advocate, with the clinician for enrollment in clinical services. If you're a family member or you have a friend that something has happened to and you just want some information, you want to know how to help, log on, create an appointment, or you can call. Again, we also have a 24-hour helpline. The local number for Rape Recovery Center is 801-467-7282.
We can take some questions right now if you guys have any questions. We could do breakouts if you want. Any group questions, or do you want to do breakouts? All right, thank you, everyone.